there, y'all. Welcome back to Coffee Date Thursday. Well, this is going to be a hopefully quick, rambling, unedited video that I will upload for you when I finish talking or reach my destination, one or the other. I will pause this if I almost get hit by a car while I'm walking because it's Mardi Gras and everybody here is going to the same place as me. All right. I don't have any coffee. I do have a beer in my backpack, which I'm very excited to get to. But first, Coffee Date Thursday. This week's Coffee Date Thursday theme is, hold on, I have to cross a really busy street. Ooh, I almost got hit and backed over at the same time. That's exciting and new. This week's Coffee Date Thursday theme is what's happening in the world and what's your opinion about it. And I know you all are very excited to hear what I have to say, which will be largely unsurprising if you watch any of my other videos. Nana, thank you for this topic. I was really inspired by your video this morning, and I know some people think this topic might be difficult because it might be labeled as political, but I don't think of it as political at all. Hold on, I have to share the sidewalk with some people for a second. All right, I'm back. I did write down a couple of notes so that I wouldn't get too distracted while walking. Let's see if I almost get hit again. All right, I'm not going to talk a lot about any specific thing that I'm seeing in the news. We all know what's going on in South Dakota as we speak with the water protectors. We all know there's a campaign of continued violence against people of color, continued marginalization of vulnerable populations of people, the continued stripping of rights away from women, the continued, I don't even know how to talk about the way people are treated if they happen to have an alternate faith or an alternate perspective on love. That's for another story. Because I think all of those things are connected. I think they're all one issue. And the one issue I think, this is all my thoughts on my YouTube channel, is that all of these things, I see people who seem to have a complete inability to recognize the humanity and dignity in other people. Just because maybe it's uncomfortable or a little bit difficult to express the effort to recognize someone's perspective and experience if it's different from what they're familiar with. So, hold on, let me consult my notes. Okay, I have four reasons, or four, I guess, symptoms of this inability to empathize. The first is kind of technology and laziness. Technology makes us really lazy. It makes things too easy. It makes relationships too kind of superficial, I think. And nobody wants to ask questions or do research. I mean, the fact that so many millions of people online, regardless of politics, shared so many fake news sources in the last year, that should devastate you. It just should. It just should. The second thing is, what is the second thing? Oh yes, people seem to really be like afraid of being wrong. I mean, I get that it's uncomfortable to be wrong, but people act like it's the most horrible thing to be wrong. I mean, being wrong is what we do. It's what science is. You know, what's wrong with admitting you're wrong and then making a for real apology and exerting the effort to make sure you never repeat that same type of wrong behavior again. I'm wrong about things all the time. I may be wrong about making this video. If so, I'll tell you next week. I don't know. I don't remember what number 3 is. Oh yes, I forgot one thing I wanted to say about being wrong. This is what I tell my students all the time. I love your mistakes. I love them. We identify them, we figure out how to fix them, and then we don't do them again. And then we go on to make more mistakes, and then we fix it. And then suddenly, bam, one day, you're a fluent language speaker, and you have the entire world right in front of you. That may be a little bit grandiose, but you know, works for students. Third thing is that I think it's really too easy for a lot of people, myself included, to pretend they're not really affected by things that are happening in other parts of the world, or even really down the street. Every semester I show my students this documentary where, I've had a lot of coffee, where they dress up these people, we'll call them like John and Judy, as homeless people, and then set them on a street corner, and then invite their friends and family to the nearby office building as, you know, a kind of a sting operation to get them to walk by these homeless people / their wife and uncle. And none of them, they did it with like 10 different people. None of them even looked at them. They didn't even think of them as people. They didn't even think of them as people. Okay, fourth and last, and I really want to be wrong about this. Remember that conversation we had about being wrong? I really want to be wrong about this, but I see it all the time, and I just don't understand. I don't understand, but it just seems like some people really, they don't just want the best of everything. They want other people to have the worst of everything. Like, it's not enough to have everything you need. You need to make sure, like, someone else, like, doesn't have anything anywhere close, because it, like, further elevates you, like, higher above them. I just don't get it. I don't know. Could you explain it to me? I mean, this thing just happened a couple months ago where I was walking across a parking lot at work with one of my students, a 24, 25-year-old woman and her 4-year-old son. And this car full of white male college students zoomed by, like zoomed by, like that car back there at that intersection, like 3 feet away from us, and screamed, "ISIS, you're gonna die, and your brat too." I mean, can you tell me about that? Like, what is that? What is that? Okay, I've basically reached my destination and a lot of people and the place where I can finally sit down and take off this giant heavy backpack full of beer and drink one. But I have one thing to say, and it is that I know my life is incredibly privileged. I know that there are certain opportunities I've had that would not be afforded to me if I'd been born in a different time or in a different place or of a different faith or a different color or with a more complicated relationship with my gender. I know that's true, right? It's true. I also know I have a kind of especially privileged life because I've seen much more of the world than most people that I know. And when I look at my social media, over a dozen languages scroll by me every day. And every day I go to my job and I deal with the challenges and the frustrations of working with people who view the world in a fundamentally different way than I do. And it's hard. And it's uncomfortable sometimes. And it's wonderful and it's beautiful and I love it and it's my job in here in this city where I can dress like this and make this video for you on my way to a parade. All right, I'm gonna take a break from rambling at you. I hope you have a really fantastic Thursday. If you're still here and you haven't unsubscribed, thank you so much for watching. I'm happy to discuss with you any of the things I've talked about in this video civilly in the comments. Please don't just spew hateful rhetoric at me. It's Mardi Gras. I'm having a good time and I'm tired. And I'm tired of the things that I'm seeing happening in the world. So let's talk about it. Happy Mardi Gras, yeah. I'll absolutely see you soon.